Hey, welcome. I've not been on here for a long time. I haven't updated things for a long time. It's time for an update. So therefore, here's my update. Well, first things first, I've shaved my beard. I know. I don't look homeless anymore, so this is good. Because obviously I live in a nice home. This is good. I was going to make some videos for a set period of time, and then I stopped doing it. I don't really know why I stopped doing it, other than I was probably lazy and I probably just didn't get around to it. And it became a negative habit where I didn't stay on top of that. So that's on me. That's my problem. That's my fault. I also kind of felt it was weird because I had some ideas. If I'm just in a room by myself, I could tell a joke, but if there's no laughter, there's no one to experience that. You have to play humor off of other people. Otherwise, it's not a joke. It's just kind of, it's not a joke. It's not funny. So I kind of felt like I was talking to the room, talking to a silence, and what I'm asking is, please comment on these, so that I know that you've seen it, and if it is anything valuable, if there's something that you want to hear about, then I can continue talking about it. But today's video is all about myself, and the reason I'm talking about myself is because my purpose of this channel it's a video diary, if you will, of things that have been going on in my business world, so that when I become rich and famous, everyone can say, "Hey Tim, how did you do that?" And I can say, "Well, just watch my channel. Let's go back to December 2022, and you'll see how it all began." Since I last posted, I've been consulting again. So it's an interesting one because it's actually interesting work. The project was kind of at a point where it was a lot of dysfunction in the technology. There was kind of a self-proclaimed database expert that was not very expert. Sorry. There were a lot of issues, a lot of issues, like just first principles types of things that weren't right. So I think overall what's happening was the team generally gravitated towards his input as the source, the answer, the way. This is the way we if he said, then we have to go that way, right? Because he was the one who knew. He brought a lot of experience around this problem domain, and they listened to him. And nobody was there to challenge him and cut through the BS, which is what I kind of did. I called him out on a lot of stuff that was just like, no, dude, this is so bad. Like, for example, like this past week, I had kind of a little one of this going on with him because database objects were being named just as like update customers. Was it a table, data view, table value function? What is it? We have no idea. So you have to go look through a million places to find out what the heck is this object. Because it's material if you're trying to write an optimized query, for example, or you're trying to find out what it's doing and how it works. Naming conventions, brother. And he was literally arguing, can we drop those prefixes of USP underscore blah, blah, blah? I'm like, dude, I'm all for having an agreed upon naming convention, but don't argue to me that no naming convention is the way to go. Like, that's dodgy, dude. Like, no way. I'm not non-starter. Like, forget it. Like, no. So anyways, this is the guy. So it's been good to kind of come in my Whitehorse and, just talk some stuff and get some results. And it's I think opened up a lot of opportunities for this coming year, and so I'm glad to do this one. And when it comes to I'm not gonna lie, the money's good. Like when you're consulting, I find consulting money comes in one of two buckets for me. It's either high value, high strategic input, and it's like a weak thing, kind of someone needs a strategy, someone needs a good, let's unpack this big problem and we're going to making it hundreds of thousands of dollars of investment. What do we do? Can we put that on paper? Get someone independent to look at it. That's where I come in. Boom, here's your report. I get paid big bucks. I'm happy. On the other side, if it's a little more of an ongoing operational type thing like I'm doing now, I don't really like doing this operational support. I prefer project work just because I don't like getting in there like daily grind as much. I like the come in, solve the problem, quick solution, get it out, get it done, right? But I'm in this kind of thing. So anyways, in that space, I'm on the top I'm in top tier money, so that makes me satisfied that it's a fair exchange of time versus money. I would prefer to charge more, of course, but on the same token, it's easy. It's easy money, so I'll take it for now. And that's also been a time suck because just to clarify what I just said. And what I mean by that is I got a lot of other stuff on the go and it's suffering. And I'm struggling with that because I told these guys at the start, 4 days a week max, I got other stuff out on the fire. And it's turned into 5.5 days a week kind of thing. And it's just like, it's a lot of work. A lot more stuff going on here that I didn't really want to do. So come January, I'm going to roll that back. I'm going to push back on that because I got my stuff done. My other stuff is suffering. So what's my other stuff? I have taken a project from the past that I worked on, modernized it, got it to a point of a minimum viable product. I'm calling it SQL Anvil. And SQL Anvil is a foundation of a software as a service so that SQL Server databases and instances can be analyzed to see what is our state of the union, what is going on. Because when you look from the typical IT manager's perspective, they're sitting there, they got their infrastructure guy saying CPU, disk, and memory are blah, blah, blah. These are important. Yep, true. And then you get your DBA saying, hey, indexes, statistics, and all these, these types of things, they're important. Yeah, true, they are. And then you got your programmer saying, it's queries, they're not running fast. I gotta, make them sargeable, blah, blah, blah. So these all factor in. These are all important functions of how to make a SQL Server operate. And so the IT manager's like, well, the thing is slow. We've tried what everyone says, but we're not really making those wins. SQL Anvil creates a report that is exactly for that purpose. It helps you figure out what is going on. It gives you the broad perspective, a good state of the union view of, hey, look, I got all these things going on. This is what it's all working on in tandem. Nice color coded, red, green, yellow, so you know, okay, here's the sore spots, let's go focus on those things. And then combined, that'll give you the idea of, if that will definitely show you which servers, which databases are operating slowly, and kind of give you intimations of where to focus your energy, right? So if you're going to spend some time with a consultant, your DBAs, whatever, have a starting point. You don't have to go and do the research, consolidate the information from multiple servers and multiple databases and run this query and run that query. Lays it out nice and slim, and it's easy money. It's like easy money to spend. If you're an IT manager, it's $150. Boom, you got all this value right off the bat. And adding more stuff in there, like I got a lot of stuff on the roadmap for what I want to do. But it's at minimum viable product right now. So I've been working to try and get some marketing going on that, and I've been working on my new website for that. And I'm using ClickFunnels. I'm not sure if many of you know about Russell Branson and the whole ClickFunnels thing, but it's kind of a cool thing where it's all built around marketing and really drilling into getting value to the right people as fast as possible and really helping, accelerate your sales, but also deliver value faster, right? And so trying to figure that out and get that all working so that I can spend some money on some ads and just kind of turn and burn. Been kind of held up because of my availability for one, but two, strategically trying to figure out, do I want to go and, because it's MVP, I know the fundamentals of the report is correct and bang on, I can stick my name on that, no problem. Used it in the past, in earlier versions. I know it works now. I have no qualms about that. What I am trying to figure out is, okay, is this really resonating with the people that need to use it? Is this really going to work in all technical environments, firewalls, security, all that stuff? Just want to make sure that it's got, before I kind of really ramp up. Will it work? Will it deliver what the promise of what I think it's going to deliver? Or is there stuff I could add, take out, delete, move them around, make it optimized? So that's where I'm at. So I thought, okay, well, I'll do the LinkedIn, try and get some people to kind of maybe do a give some feedback. But that's been a slog too. It's a lot of more time because I got to find who's the right people. So there's some people in my LinkedIn network I'm going to probably reach out to regardless because I think they can get some value from it, get some feedback. Hopefully it's not just polite feedback because I want to know if this is actually useful or not. yeah, so there's that. So I'm hoping that the version of my website, I think, is at that point I can actually sell it. So I think what I'll do is I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to get personal invitations to try and do it, because I just don't want to go spend my time doing that. I also had the idea of maybe I could talk to people about the research I'm doing for something else. I'll tell you about it in a second. I'm going to just throw it out there. If it fails, I'll just I'll just comp. I'll just refund people. I'll just get some, and then I can track as we're reducing the number of refunds, and then we know the product's getting better. So I think it's kind of lazy, but it's actually proof. It's actual user feedback at that point, paying customers who actually committed the dollar. And then if I don't even get to that point, then I know that's a dud. I started a book. I'm working on my new book, people. So this book is about top 10 things to consider to get an optimized SQL Server experience. It talks about the technical in reference, but it's not really about the technical. So it's more about, okay, what are you trying to do here? What are you trying to manage? Like I mentioned, there's 3 roles kind of that play into a SQL Server experience. And you get your infrastructure, your data engineer / DBA, you got your developers. And so if they're not working together to service the user's needs, then you're going to have a kind of an unhappy, unbalanced experience. And that's where I'm really trying to get to in that book, is to go through the kind of the 10 core elements of what the SQL Anvil report will kind of answer for you, but also to kind of give you some guidance around where to focus your energy, where not to focus your energy, because there's so much out there. Like if you got a specific, say a query slowness, you're trying to drill into that, and if you haven't been doing it for a while, you're not an expert in that area, like you're going to spend a lot of time, and you're going to try some stuff and it doesn't work, and you think you've read a blog or two, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can optimize a query, and then you go and do it, and it's like, ooh, it's way worse. Oh, it's because statistics are out of date. Your indexing is wrong. You got your slow disk. You got a full disk. You got all your... there's a million things that can go wrong, right? There's a million things that... Not a million, but there's hundreds of things that potentially could be holding you up, and it's got nothing to do with what you've done. I feel like SQL Anvil's got some huge value for people. I don't know if people will receive it that way, but I really hope that I can get people to use it, because it's easy. Solves a lot of issues. Ugh. Just knowing, it's half the battle. It really is. And people don't know. I can tell you a story about that. Actually, this is a really recent experience. This client I'm working for, like this client is huge. Like they're a multinational. Like you know the name. The problem with them is they're like a lot of other large companies. They've outsourced certain functions, like the management of their databases. And in this particular case, they've outsourced it to Big Corp, IT management company. Another name you would know, but I'm not going to mention. And their production servers, database statistics were not being updated, and I said, well, can I go ahead and create a job to go and automate that? Oh, these are already being done by such and such corporation, IT company. It's on their contract to do. I'll do that. It's already handled. Is it though? So then I go look, and then I'm like, no, these statistics haven't been updated in like months. Like some of them I found like over a year. So I pushed that back to him. And then he comes back, oh, I also see that the databases haven't been backing up for like 11 months. I says, pardon? Your production databases haven't been, on this one server, haven't been updating for like 11 months. So I'm glad you paid them for a year. Ta-da. This is why they need this SQL Anvil report. It would show that. You'd have a column of red. Column of red would say, don't fall asleep, go do something about this problem. You know what I mean? Ugh. So simple. Just a quick sanity check. That's all you need. Let's check my sanity here. What's going on? If I was an IT manager, I'd do it. Totally would do it. It's worth the money. $150 per server? That's nothing. It's a rounding error. I mean, data is so important and vital in an organization these days, and companies aren't spending the money on double checking. Sure, you've hired someone to do the work. That doesn't mean you just abdicate the throne and just let someone else run the whole thing. You're still the boss. You're still in control. You're the one that's in charge. Dang, that's good coffee. Nespresso. This coming week, I got some work stuff to do for my client. I've got a week of holidays, workcation. So I want to get this version out this year. Like I'm not It's not super long, super detailed. It's really about getting that first version out there. I want to just publish it and get it done. And I have some ideas that I want to go back for a second iteration and start interviewing some companies, get their experience and use those and just enhance those stories, and just kind of get some of those tribal, experiences in there in that book as a kind of a second iteration. So I'm already planning forward of what I want to do with that, and I got some good ideas around some video content that could really be a good answer to a lot of people's common questions, I think. So that's good. So on top of all of that stuff, and this is part of where I'm kind of hitting this video again, spending a lot more time on YouTube creations. So I'm thinking about some channels. I've been doing a couple of experiments on a couple of my own channels. And one video I produced, in my view, it's gone kind of viral-ish, like viral for me. So, I mean, as of today, it's been out there for 4 days, I think now, and I had 3,000 views, and I got picked up 14 subscribers. I'm like, for me, I published a lot of stuff in the past, and I had, 20, 30 views and no subs, 1 or 2 likes. But yeah, 15 likes, thousands of views. I'm like, oh. And I look at some of the views or some of the statistics that some of these other YouTube creators are doing, and my stats are on par or superior to what I see on their screen grabs. So I'm like, that could be something. So I personally feel like that lightning struck me here, and it's one of, like, it's not anything I did. Something got picked up by the YouTube algorithm, and I'm not sure what. I just don't know. I'm hoping that I can figure that out and understand where that's coming from and how come. Because there's something about that video that struck, and it was low edit. I did actually just uploaded it from my phone. There was nothing special about it. It was a video of, well, I'll tag it in this video. Get some more likes. Get some more content. What up? Yeah, so anyway, that was interesting. So I have this cool idea. Well, cool to me. Personal passion, something I like. All these little cakes you can get around Christmas time. They're kind of Italian, and this one is from the dollar store for $2. So I thought, I'll try it. I'm interested to try it, and because I've seen the big, they come in big, like huge, like the size of a huge loaf of bread kind of idea. Some of the ones I've seen in the stores are like $70. It's super expensive. And so then I saw this little guy for $2. I thought, that's hilarious. I'm gonna try it. It's probably gonna be total crap. But I thought, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that see a lot of these weird things on the shelf, and they're like, who's gonna buy that? Why would I ever want that? And like, I saw this other product. It's a potato salad. Yeah, product of Spain. As you would expect, it's got white wine vinegar, egg yolk. I was raised to never put mayonnaise outside of the fridge. Ready to eat. Doesn't need to be refrigerated. No preservatives. How good is it? Again, this one was from a dollar store. So, I'm interested. I want to try it out. I want to see if it is crap or if it's terrible crap. So, I think there's this kind of this type of stuff that I think will be hilarious to kind of just try them on a whole bunch of them and just do some reviews, right? But then there's also, I go to these markets, and there's like these little cans of these tunas and fishes and stuff. And so they're just, the package so elegantly, like this is a fabric kind of cloth fabric netting on here. And it's just really nice texture. And it's really, this is yellowfin belly in olive oil. Also a product from Spain. I wonder if they know these guys. They should get together and make a baby. And I just think that like this thing, I think I paid something like $12 for this thing. And that's expensive. And then I got this other kind of, this is Atlantic horse mackerel. I mean, Atlantic horse mackerel, just the word horse in it, it sold me. But it's like, I think it was like $18 for this thing. Is it any good? That's what I want to know. So I think I want to give people the opportunity to live vicariously through my financial incontinence here, and just let myself go and buy some stuff that is things that people won't normally try. And I will just show them what it is, the packaging, what it's like, And to talk about, is it bang for the buck? Is it worth the $18? I'll shoot you straight, because I do know I've had these before. And these guys, these ones are phenomenal. I will have these any day of the week. They're so good. The sauce in there is to die for. Probably the best canned, fishes I've ever had. Like they have a tomato-based one as well. Really good. Yeah, so I think that I'm going to do that. I got another box of really cool goodies here as well from a different market. So I'm going to produce a few videos. I think I'm going to get that going. And you know what's interesting is I feel more excited about this than I do about the actual work, the SQL stuff. I mean, the SQL stuff, I know it very well, and I'm actually really excited about doing it too. But I do feel, as I measure my emotional state, talking about that versus this, I just much more happy. So I just want to do that. I want to just make some YouTubes and see where it goes. Maybe it'll be a super duper thing. If it's not, no, that's fine too. I'm going to have fun doing it. That's it. So I think it would be nice to kind of do a weekly review, update, whatever. I really, really, really wish that some of you would comment below. I do. I feel like it's playing tennis by myself, right? Serving it out there. I just hope that you swing something back, and then I'll be glad to share more about what running a small business and being a serial entrepreneur is like, because I think you've heard through 1,000 things I'm working on, trying to do. Am I doing them all well? No, I'm not doing them all well, but I do think that I'm trying, and I don't know. I suppose if you look at it from one perspective, like, you should have a little more structure. You should have a little more planning. You should be able to go through and do a bunch of stuff in a certain logical order. But I found that since none of my plans have worked out through the planning and the extensive work, maybe wing it. Go for it. Go for what I want to do and just go out, attack it, and just handle the challenges. Don't be so strategic. Just go for it, man. And I'm not really sure, but I think 2023 is going to be more about that. It's just go after it. Like, if I'm interested in something, just do it. If I'm not liking it, stop it. I mean, I have the luxury, unlike a lot of people, to I'm making really good money. I can experiment. I can try some things out. I don't have to be committed to any one notion beyond what it's expected. So, I mean, am I going to get rich off of making videos on canned food reviews? Probably not. Maybe. I might get some followers. I don't know. Maybe people will love it. Maybe they'll hate it. I don't know. Who even knows? But I can tell you this is I'm going to enjoy myself doing it. I'm going to love that stuff. I love eating those fishes and those little cans of stuff, because I think, normally people won't try it. I'm talking about this again, so I must like this. People don't like to try those things. They're scared to be the first. I am not that guy. And I'll tell you another story. The other day, my wife and I, we went to this cafe. It was a new place to us. And they had this drink, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll put the words on the screen here when I edit this video, because my wife will know. But the idea was, it was a chai tea, but there was an espresso in it. And she's had one before, and she absolutely hated it. She said, as I'm ordering it, she's like, "Tim, don't do that. Do not do that. You're going to hate that." And I was like, "No, I'm going to try it. I want to try it and see what it's like, because I've never had one. I'll try it. I'll try almost anything once." I'm going to send you a link. I'm going to include a link on here. This is one thing I will not try. Absolutely disgusting. For the record, gross. It's a link in the bottom. It'll be called Grossest Snack Ever. Ugh. Oh, gross. Just thinking about it. No, that's one. No, pass. Okay, so anyways. So what am I thinking is that, so this drink was not good. She told me not to do it. Like, don't do it. So I got it, and I smelled it, and I'm like, that actually smells really good. I took a taste of it, and it was a different taste. So I had to try and place where it was. It was kind of woody, smoky, kind of like a earthen taste to it. And I actually quite enjoyed the drink. It was a really good drink. So I'm glad I didn't listen to someone else, even though I love her and care for her, and I do value her opinion. she had a bad experience with it. I didn't. That being said, there were some grinds in there that shouldn't have been in there, so I don't think it was prepared the correct way. But that aside, excusing that for a moment, the flavor was good. I really enjoyed that drink. I'd have that again in a heartbeat. You never know. So yeah, let's just live with that for now. Try things. Don't be afraid to not try things, and that's kind of where I'm going with my business work this coming years. I'm going to try some stuff. It might be too much hassle, might be too much work, but I want to. I feel like my financial bases are solved, so I'm going to experiment and invest in a few things for myself. And I think it's cool to do something that you want and you're passionate about, and I think it's cool to do something that's just kind of a little more traditional, a little bit lower risk, like that. This has been rambling on for half an hour, so I should shut up. No one's watching anymore anyways, so maybe I won't shut up. How about that? All right, thanks everyone. Appreciate you. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.